What's going on, everybody? TJ here from TJ's Take to break down Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors. It is finally that time. We have a ton of different contests that we can play. The 200,000 top prize is on there, like it is every Finals. 22-22 to enter. A little more expensive, but hey, you have to when you have a top prize that big. Yeah, I think there's a 444 on there for 10K. There's a $33 with less than 1,000 people in it for 3K. You can go anywhere with this. They're going to keep coming up too, so if they fill up, don't worry. They'll keep throwing them out there. I mean, it's the only basketball left. So it is exciting. I'm very excited. Last year in the finals, we hit an 8,000 and a 4,000, so made 12,000 off of the finals last year. So super excited about this matchup. Super excited that it's these two teams. It won't be as confusing. I think if the Bucks would have made it, it would have been a lot harder. I think I just know the Raptors a little more. I think they're a little easier to predict, and don't do anything too crazy. The only thing I'm looking at is I'm expecting them to play Van Vliet a lot more, kind of play how they played the end of last series, a little smaller against this team, but who knows. Boogie Cousins is active tonight. He's 6K, so something we definitely need to keep track of. We're not positive how much he's playing, but looking at this, not too many other 6K guys I like, if any. Danny Green, I think he plays a little more this series just because finals experience. I mean, he can shoot the ball. They're going to need some defense on these guys, and Danny Green's going to get it done for you. Will that cut into Van Vliet's minutes? Maybe a little bit. I don't think too much, though. I think they're gonna have a steady diet of smaller lineups here. So, and I think Van Vliet will definitely be included the way he's shooting right now. Ibaka is a big question mark for me right now. Don't know what they're going to do with him this series. I like to think that they're going to go big at least at some point and try and take it that route against these smaller Warriors. But if the Warriors go out and throw out Bogut and Bell and play these bigger guys like they did last time, then it's just going to be a mess. So we're just going to have to watch and see. Anyway, Andre Iguodala, I think he's going to be big in this series like he is in every finals. Sneaky low right now. I guarantee he will not be this low. Probably any other game in this finals. He's 9K right now. I think we need to take advantage of that while we can. And the nice thing about having the Raptors in this as opposed to the Bucks is I think that top spot is wide open but limited in a few ways. Because if we had Giannis on here, it'd be tough because Giannis is most likely going to be the one to score a ton of points. I mean, he can just go for 70, and if you don't have him, you're screwed. I think Kawhi, Curry, and even Draymond can all score around those same points. So I think it'll get fun towards the end of games to watch these guys going at it and see who tops one another. So if you are playing that huge tournament, I'm not today. I'm going to see how this first game goes and then kind of go from there. So I'm going to be playing probably the 444s, maybe a couple, maybe one $33, but we'll see. I just want to see how this goes so far. So I'll be doing a lot of single entries and trying to get money that way. But I think tonight, especially, we're going to have a winning lineup that a decent amount of people will have just because the pricing right now, that's what FanDuel does, is they price it so they can try and get a minimal amount of lineups up there as the winner. But I think the pricing right now is just too easy where you can kind of fit in whoever you want, especially with Boogie playing tonight. Anything else? Pretty much it. So I think we can jump right into it. I'm just going to start out with the most different one that I feel most confident about, and that's going Draymond up top. Follow it with Kawhi in the second spot. And then in that third spot, I like to go get Siakam here. That's why I was kind of nervous about Ibaka. It's just because I don't know if he's going to play that much with a guy like Siakam, who's athletic, has the defense, is just more agile. And as long as he's not in foul trouble, I see Siakam playing a lot of minutes and being very productive in this series. And I could even throw him in a two spot in some of these because we've seen him go get 60 fantasy points before. And I don't know if the Warriors really have anybody to slow him down. I mean, who's going to be on? Draymond might be on him, but we'll see. Because if you have to put either Draymond or Iguodala on Kawhi, so if one of them's sitting, Siakam's going to be getting a lot of usage, is my opinion. So let's go with that. We have 9,000 remaining, so I'm going to go get Iguodala, which we were talking about. And then that leaves us another 9, obviously. So this is how we can get really different. Since we already have Draymond in the top spot, we can come down here and get an Ibaka or a Powell. But I like Danny Green. So I'm going to go ahead and plug him in and leave the $2,500 salary. So basically we're depending on this one to... We're basically planning on Siakam scoring more than Lowry and Klay Thompson is essentially what we're doing, and Draymond obviously being the top scorer of the night. It's different enough. Not a lot of people will have it. I'll bet it will be out there if you're playing the huge one, but I like this lineup a lot, and I think that's the best way to be different and feel confident about it is that lineup right there. So obviously, let's go with Kawhi in the top spot. He's going to be in the top spot most of the time. Him and Curry, 60-40 Kawhi. Is going to be in that top spot for me. I like Draymond in there in the one or two spot. I think either one of these guys goes off and Draymond follows right behind him. Maybe the next guy below that. But you can play them all together, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm not going to build the very popular Kawhi, Steph, Draymond lineup. I'm going to switch it up and go Kawhi, Draymond, Steph. And then you can go get Boogie Cousins at 6. And then at 8, you can go get Ibaka. You can go get Danny Green. You can do all kinds of things with that. So that's another build. I'm going to focus more on players in this one than the builds, because I think you guys can kind of see how the builds are going themselves. So my favorite players just kind of ranked. Kawhi first, Draymond second, Steph third. Klay is very confusing, but that's what I like in tournaments. Klay, Kyle Lowry, and Siakam are going to be the 3 guys. Maybe Marc Gasol are going to be the 3 or 4 guys it comes down to winning tournaments, because all 4 of those guys have huge upside, but can also go and get you a 20. Lowry, I don't think is going to be as efficient this series. I know he's going to play hard, but I see some turnovers. I don't see as much usage. I don't see as much scoring being there. I think the scoring is going to come a lot from in the paint and then just Kawhi taking over. So I prefer Gasol and Klay Thompson. Siakam's my favorite out of them, but those are going to be the guys who pretty much decide it all, along with Iguodala too. Don't be afraid to throw Iguodala in a 3rd spot there. So let's start making some different lineups. We'll go Kawhi in the top spot, follow it with Steph, and throw Iggy in the 3rd spot. And another thing I like to do on this slate is use Kyle Lowry in a utility spot. Just because, I mean, he's going to get all those minutes, and he's going to be out there. He's going to have some kind of points. I just don't think it's going to be top 3. So that leaves us 7-5. I like Danny Green. I like Norman Powell. And I like Boogie Cousins, obviously. Boogie, tread carefully. We don't know how long he's going to play. Danny Green, even tread carefully. He's going to start, but Van Vliet could come in and get those minutes. I don't see it just because of Danny Green's finals experience and his defense, but it could easily happen. Another punt play you could use is Jordan Bell. With Boogie coming back, I don't think Bell is going to be needed as much, but he did have a great series last time, so you can wait and see on that. Another thing I want... Oh, oops. Oh, no, we're good. Another thing I want to show you guys is a lineup with Gasol in there. So I'm going to go, let's put Steph up top and follow it with Kawhi. Again, these guys are interchangeable. You can put whoever you want in there, pretty much. And then let's throw Gasol in the third spot. I don't like using Gasol and Siakam together. I think it's going to be one or the other when it comes to points in the paint. Siakam's the more active one. Gasol has a pretty good height advantage down low. If Boogie's playing, Gasol will probably be in there for defensive reasons. And yeah, I like the way that's looking so far. So I'm going to go down here and I can put Clay in the utility spot, which I really like. And then I can follow that up and put Boogie Cousins in the last spot at 6K. So that's a build I just kind of threw together, which I didn't even think of before myself. Switching Marc Gasol out for Klay Thompson, putting him in the third, and putting Klay Thompson in the utility. And one thing we can't forget about is putting Klay Thompson in the top spot. It can easily happen. It's the finals. Klay can go out there. There's no KD. Klay can go out there and hit 7 or 8 threes. He's done it before. Throw Klay in that top spot. Throw Kawhi in the second spot. Draymond in the third spot. I kind of like grabbing Gasol here in a utility spot. And then coming down and either grabbing Boogie Cousins, Norman Powell, or Danny Green. That's going to be... There's 2 areas to look at, pretty much. Your top guys, yeah, you can throw them in any 3 of the top spots. That's not the hard part. The hard part is going to be those middle 3 guys, 3 or 4 guys, with Gasol, Klay, Siakam, and Lowry. And then your last guys with Powell, Bell, Ibaka, Danny Green, and Boogie Cousins in there. So that's where you're going to have to decipher and make your picks. If you're making a lot of lineups, make sure you're throwing those guys in make sure you're using them all together. I can't talk right now. I don't know even how to say that, but make sure you're having a good mix of everybody and make sure you're pairing them with, say, Danny Green with Norman Powell, Danny Green with Boogie Cousins, Danny Green with Serge Ibaka. Then go Norman Powell with Boogie Cousins, Norman Powell with Serge Ibaka. You know what I mean. But you're not going to be able to do that. That's why these things work, is there's so many different options you can do. So even when you do change that up, your top 3 is going to be different. But that's just how you have to do it, because you don't know which one of these bottom 3 guys is going to go off. You don't know which 3 of those mid-tier guys is going to go off. So we'll know a lot more after this game, but this is the one to get super tricky on and just cover all your bases. Maybe Klay wins Finals MVP and just has an insane Finals. Maybe Siakam comes out and gets 15 and 15. Both these guys are going to play hard. The game's in Toronto. I think Kawhi is easy in that top spot. I think Draymond is easy in that second spot. And Steph is just a big question mark to me right now, because yes, I do think he can go out there and get 60. Do I think he's going to in Toronto? No. I think Kyle Lowry is a pretty good defender. Steph Curry will definitely get his shots off, but I'm not as confident in him getting 50 as I am Kawhi or even Draymond, just because Draymond gets points anywhere, all over the place. So let's build one more, just something else that I can try and find here that I haven't shared with you already. My favorite build is going to have Kawhi and Draymond up top. And then I can just really go from there. I like plugging Steph in that third spot, but I really like being different with a Siakam, Gasol, or Iguodala. And then you can go up and get another one of those guys as well if you do that. So I like plugging in a Siakam there. And then even, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, I can play Kawhi, Draymond, Siakam, Lowry, and Boogie Cousins. And I love that lineup. People will have it, but I love that lineup. And if you are playing the 22-22 with the 200K top prize, if you get first and you're tied with 100 people, it's still a ton of money. like you're gonna like there's 53,000 people in that tournament, but if you hit first, if you tie with all those people, you're still gonna get your cut. Like that is a lot of money because you're not just splitting the 200K, you're splitting the first place prize, second place prize, there's third place. At the end of the day, you're splitting like close to $400,000 with 100 some people. Like that's still a lot of money. Anyways, that's it right now. I'll be here for every single game of this final, so we'll be watching it carefully. This is just kind of a quick run through. We'll know more. Prices will change after this game, and I am excited to see how this one goes. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them on the comments or contact us on Twitter. If you want me to release actual articles like I've done before, giving you lineups that you can just take a look at, let me know. That's something I don't really like to do. I don't know if people actually like it just because they're out there for everyone to see. People can have the same ones. But if you like to look at them and then just kind of see where my mind's at or refresh it from this video if you don't want to watch the whole thing over again, just let me know and I'll definitely get that done for you. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm excited for this game. Hope you guys are too. I've got my final sweater on and I'm ready to go. I'll see you guys next time.